Welcome to the InfoBrokerWorld podcast, where business intelligence meets global strategy, empowering entrepreneurs with the insights they need to stay ahead.
In today's fast-paced global market, protecting your brand isn't just a legal issue, it's a business-critical strategy. Trademarks and copyrights are more than symbols of identity. They're assets, and just like any asset, they need to be monitored, defended, and managed proactively. Let's start with trademarks. Registering a trademark is just the beginning. The real work begins afterwards, with what we call trademark monitoring. This means keeping an eye on new applications, markets, and even the web to make sure no one else is using a name, logo, or sign that's too close to yours. If they are and you don't act, your brand could lose its distinctiveness, and worse, its legal protection. So, how do professionals handle this? It starts with a thorough trademark search, long before you even apply. That means checking national and international databases like the USPTO, EUIPO, or the DPMA. But it doesn't stop there. Smart monitoring also includes web searches, product directories, and even competitor tracking. And today, we have help from artificial intelligence. Modern IP tools use AI to scan huge data sets and flag anything that looks like a possible conflict. That gives you an early warning and a head start to take action. What kind of action? Well, if someone files a trademark that conflicts with yours, you have the right to object. That's called an opposition proceeding. But the window is tight, usually just 3 months from publication. You'll need evidence, maybe a registration certificate, proof of use, or even documents that show your brand is well known. In Germany, this can be handled directly by the DPMA, which is fast and cost-effective. If the conflicting mark is already registered, then you move to cancellation proceedings. That usually happens when a mark hasn't been used for 5 years, or if it was wrongly registered in the first place. Again, documentation is key, and timing matters. Now, beyond trademarks, let's talk about copyright. In the digital age, protecting creative content, texts, videos, designs, is more important than ever. It's easy to copy, repost, or remix someone's work. So how do we stop it? First, document everything. Copyright notices, licensing agreements, and usage permissions form the legal backbone of content protection. Second, monitor the web. There are tools that scan for unauthorized use. And yes, AI is helping here too. In fact, governments now use AI to detect copyright violations, especially in cases where content is scraped or reused to train AI models. If you find a violation, you start with a cease and desist letter. It's a formal way to ask the infringer to stop. If that doesn't work, there's the DMCA route, especially in the US, that lets you request platforms like YouTube or hosting providers to take content down fast, but not every case ends in conflict. Sometimes opening a respectful dialogue can lead to resolution, a correction, a credit, or even a future license agreement. It's about enforcing your rights without creating unnecessary friction. Now, let's zoom out for a moment. Managing IP isn't just about legal procedures. It's also about ethics and responsibility, especially when AI and surveillance are involved. When we collect data, even for brand protection, we need to ask, are we respecting privacy? Are we transparent about how data is used? Are we applying AI in a fair, unbiased way? The EU's AI Act and other regulations are pushing companies to think more carefully about this, and rightly so. Protecting intellectual property is essential, but it must be done in a way that aligns with human rights, fairness, and the rule of law. So, to wrap up, trademark and copyright protection is no longer optional. It's a strategic necessity. Whether you're a startup launching your first brand or a global player defending a portfolio, you need a clear strategy, the right tools, and expert support. It's about protecting what you've built and making sure your brand continues to grow safely and sustainably.
Thank you for listening to the InfoBrokerWorld podcast. If you have any questions about today's topic, feel free to reach out via the contact details in the show notes. This podcast was created using AI tools. If you're interested in producing your own AI-driven podcast, from concept to audio, feel free to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed and stay ahead.